Today we're working with a TRS-80 microcolor computer from 1983. I picked this up on eBay and decided to try to restore it and make this first video. The entire computer has wear and tear that's typical of computers of this age. As of this recording, it's 36 years old, so it's older than me, and it pretty much looks better. But you can see, just looking across the keyboard here, there's dirt and grime and all of that fun stuff. The sides have the same grime. It really just needs a good cleaning. While we're looking at the computer here, just some fun facts. This came out in 1983, like I said. It lasted 1 year, so it's not a very successful model of the TRS line of computers. Let's see on the back here, it's missing some feet, but I've got some replacements that I'm going to put on there that will fit nicely, I think. They're in pretty bad shape, disintegrated and or completely missing. See the model number and all of that fun stuff here on the back. Channel select for your TV. And while we're panning across, you can see all the dirt and dust and grime that's, you know, typical. But we're going to clean it up. It's going to look nice. So before we dive in, I want to demonstrate how small this computer is. This is a TRS-80 Color Computer 2 that I restored. And here's the microcomputer on top. You can definitely see the difference in size. Alright, now it's time to take the case apart. You'll notice that I'm struggling to open the case. There was a hidden screw under the warranty void warning, so I had to get that one out. So I fought with these screws a lot longer than I would like to admit. Just flipping over, the ones that weren't covered by the sticker came out pretty easily, but the one that was covered by the sticker, it didn't want to budge. The threads were kind of entwined with the adhesive. So I fought with the case for a little bit. Kind of had a little bit of a hard time getting it open, but eventually I got mad enough to just pull it apart. Now I need to disconnect the keyboard so we can detach the two halves. There are these little levers that you have to pull, and once you do that, it slides out easily. There we go. So you can see the RF shield there for the keyboard. And you can see how disgusting the inside was. So far, this is probably the dirtiest computer I've restored. It was something. Alright, from here, let's get this board off the bottom of the case. So I looked around for extra screws and I eventually found one. It wasn't coming off, and then I spotted it. So eventually I get the board off and it reveals the rest of the grime underneath. The foot in the upper right actually came off, and you can see how dry, and it basically just wants to fall apart. Moved on to the keyboard. There were 4 screws to take off. The 2 empty slots here were for combining the two case parts. But you can see the cardboard shield is in rough shape. I think maybe these darker spots they almost look like burn marks, but I'm honestly not sure. From there, the keyboard just comes out. And voila. There was some grime on the board. Not sure exactly what this is from. Hopefully the unit still functions. Here's a look inside the case. It's hard to see, but it's pretty dirty as well. Grabbed some canned air, tried to get as much as I could out. Didn't have a whole lot of success. Now I move on to trying to clean the case, wipe it down with some Windex. Does a pretty good job overall. The grooves were pretty hard to get cleaned. You can't really see it on the video, but there was quite a bit of dirt and gunk in between, but I managed to get most of it. The inside of the case was pretty dirty, just like everything else. It was hard to get into each of the little crevices. Eventually, I stopped being an idiot and just rinsed it out in the sink, and that did a pretty good job. I'm gonna remember that next time. So in an effort to get some of that gunk, I tried using a toothbrush. It did okay, but it didn't do as well as I'd hoped it would. There were quite a few spots that I just struggled with, so I decided to try some alcohol to see if that would make any dent. The alcohol did a pretty good job, but there were a couple spots that were left over, so I tried some WD-40 and that seemed to help. Now I turn my attention to getting this stupid screw out. Now to the dirtiest part of this whole project. The bottom of this case, the video doesn't do it justice. It was gross. I'm not sure I want to know what those little flakes are in there, but yeah, it was bad. Now I turn my attention to the back and trying to clean this up. There was some residue from a sticker that had been there, so I tried some WD-40 and some Windex, and eventually I got it up. I gave it a shot on these feet, but it ultimately didn't help. I noticed the ink from the sticker was coming off, so I was mindful of that going forward. Now I tried to get these feet out, and the first one was pretty simple, no incident, came right out. The second one, however, proved to be a little painful. You'll see why. Yeah, I cut myself. It stung pretty bad, not gonna lie. Okay, injury notwithstanding, I decided to soldier on, so I continue cleaning the back of the case here. And now I remove the sticker. You can see underneath the original color of the computer. Get some alcohol to clean it up, get rid of the residue underneath. There wasn't a lot. Here's a good shot of the original color. Time to move on to the keyboard. Spray some Windex. It cleaned it up decently. It got most of the loose dust, but it was pretty dirty. So now a few weeks have actually passed. Life got in the way, all that fun stuff, and I wasn't able to return to the project for a little bit. And now you can see me struggling to take these keys off. Eventually I decide not to be an idiot, and I figure out that there are some screws holding it in. So I take those off with the help of this little bit that I had, and I continue on. So I went back to being an idiot, and I couldn't figure out how to get the plastic casing off. So it was just more screws that I didn't see for some reason. And there you go. These are free today. So now I go back cleaning the plastic. The Windex does a pretty good job, but I have to come back to it at one point. Now it's time to clean each individual key. Don't worry, I don't make you sit through this. Now I begin prep for retro brighting. I decided to cover the badge and the lettering below it with some paint tape in the hopes that it doesn't mess up the paint. Unfortunately it did, but we'll see that at the end. Do the same for the back here. And now time to start retrobriding. I've learned from previous projects to wear gloves. If you don't, your hands will get stained. So I did. And this saran wrap became the bane of my existence. The problem was, it was old, maybe, I don't know. But this first one goes okay. So I'm using salon cream. Learned that from the 8-bit guy. Hat tip out to him. So I try to do a coat here. You can already see the saran wrap being stupid. And you can start to see, yeah, stupid, yeah. Alright, so the top is wrapped, and now I'll move on to the bottom. You can see I have a much better piece of plastic wrap. I'm very grateful I was able to find something because I was about to pull my hair out. And now for the keys, I decided to just use a bag filled with the salon cream, and it turned out it worked out really well. They were pretty hard to pick up, however. And here is the result. You can see that the badge did get messed up, unfortunately. I need to find a way to protect it better. The retro brighting didn't work as well as it would have if we had had more sun here in Kentucky today. I only had it out there for about 6 hours and there was occasional cloudiness. You can see the original color still up there. So my plan is to eventually take it apart again and do another round, but for the sake of this video I thought I would wrap it up and show you guys where it stands. So thank you so much for watching, and if you liked the video, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.